Well, we're continuing to look at relationships in triangles, and in this chapter, we're going to look at inequalities in one triangle. And we start off by looking at angle inequalities, which brings us to the exterior angle inequality theorem, which is what we're going to look at here. Now, if we reflect back, there was also an exterior angle theorem, not an inequality theorem, but just the exterior angle theorem, which said that if you've got an exterior angle, this is an angle outside the interior of a triangle, then the remote angles, the sum of the remote angles is going to equal the exterior angle. So in looking at this, we could say then that if one's obviously an exterior angle, then angles 3 and 4, which make up this angle, and angles 5 and 6, which make up this angle, those two angles are remote angles to that exterior angle 1. And those added together would equal the angle measure of angle 1. Now, taking that a step further is this exterior angle inequality theorem, which means that if you've got an exterior angle, then any one of the remote angles is going to be less than the measure of the exterior angle, or flip that around and say that the exterior angle is going to be greater than the measure of either of the corresponding remote angles. Makes sense. If both of the remote angles added together is going to equal the exterior angle, then any single remote angle has got to be less than the exterior angle, or the exterior angle has got to be greater than a single remote angle. Makes perfect sense when you think about it. And I'm convinced more and more that geometry is a lot about critical thinking. Okay, so let's see what we got here. Use the exterior angle inequality to list all the angles that satisfy the stated conditions. And the first stated condition we're looking at is measures less than the measure of angle 1. Well, we've already decided that angle 1 is an exterior angle because it's outside the triangle. And that would mean that those that are less than are going to be the remote angles. And so we could then say, to satisfy that condition, that angle 3, angle 4, which make up this broader angle right here, and angle 5 and angle 6 are going to be less than the measure of angle 1. Exterior angle inequality theorem. All right. And there's a lot of stuff in this that we don't even need. For instance, this little triangle that's embedded inside, well, it doesn't have anything to do with that exterior angle 1. It's just kind of there to trip us up, which is part of what makes us think critically. All right, let's move to the next one. It says measures greater than the measure of angle 8. All right, well, the measure of angle 8 is a remote interior angle. And remember now, we're doing the exterior angle inequality theorem. And you might think, well, angle 1 is greater than angle 8. And yes, that is true. But angle 1 and angle 8 are adjacent angles. So the exterior angle inequality theorem is dealing with exterior angles and the remote interior corresponding angles. And this relationship is they're adjacent, so it's not qualifying. It doesn't qualify as a correct answer for what we're being asked to consider. We're considering the exterior angle inequality theorem. But if I look up here, I see another exterior angle, which is angle 2. And the remote interior angles to angle 2 would be angle 8 and angles 5 and 6. So, measures greater than angle 8 under the exterior angle inequality theorem is going to give us just, and that is going to be angle 2. You got to think, don't get tripped up. Sometimes things look obvious. You got to take a step back and think about it. What are they asking me to do? What are they asking me to identify? And go with that. All right, not too bad.